Racing team. They've slipped back just a little at the moment, but Thomas Mazzera and Wayne Gardner doing a great job for them. Thomas, the team manager, the man who guides the fortune of HSV, and the race team is, of course, Tom Walkingshaw. And I think Andy Raymond's got him in pit lane.
I have got him down here at pit lane. Well, I did have him. That's live television for you. Win Percy's out the back at the moment, clubbing up, putting his helmet on. There's plenty happening in the pit of HRT at the moment, Tom.
Yeah, we're getting ready for a pit stop, so we'll just bring one of the cars in and have a look-see.
3rd and 6th at the moment. Are you happy with the way the day's gone?
Yeah, you know, I think the first half of the race, you just got to keep in contention, and you can see what they do in the second half.
Mate, I will ask you very quickly, the V8 formula, how do you like that so far?
Sounds nice, doesn't it?
Sounds great. Tom, all the best.
Yeah.
Thanks, Andy. Tom Walkingshaw.
And it's the 15 car, Thomas Mazzera, that will come to the pits.
Thank you, Gary. There's Thomas Mazzera.
He's very sideways too.
Yeah.
They've got tyre problems, these guys. Both the 15 car and the 16 car are all over this race.
And there'll be a driver change in that car.
He's looking pretty greasy at this stage. He's power sliding it all through a lot of these corners. So the rear tyres perhaps a little bit gummy. And look at the times. That's only 20 laps. So I said a lot of these figures you heard bandied about during the week, 25, 34, whenever their first stop was going to be, that's very early.
Well, they put medium compound tyres on both the Holden Racing Team cars, and we've seen that Gardner's had a couple of problems, or other cars have had a couple of problems with him, and Thomas obviously has got some problems in the 15 car.
They do have to do something. I don't know that this would be fuel-induced. They're obviously doing something about the tyres, because we've still got Scaife doing 15s. He's been doing 15s for 45 minutes. They're losing 3 seconds a lap at this rate, and they can't afford that.
Well, 2 laps ago, Mark cranked out a 2:15.920. The last lap was a 2:15.186. So the pace is certainly not off as far as the Scaife car is concerned, and that gap to Larry Perkins out now to 9.5 seconds.
The interesting thing too, Thomas's recent lap was at 2:20, so the speed really falling off the HRT Commodores. They've got to get some new rubber on this thing. Meanwhile, Larry Perkins has slipped back to almost 10 seconds behind Mark Scaife, but says he can run at 16s all day.
Well,
We've just got news from the pits, and the right rear of the Mazzera car is blistering. It's a bad tyre and has to go.
well, Thomas Mazzera trying to get the belts off, as you can see there, coming through into pit lane. Andy Raymond's down there. This will be a quick pit stop. Andy?
Yes, you can see Thomas Mazzera coming in. Wildwind Percy's getting ready to jump in. A lot of controversy surrounding this rear right tyre. You can see the shot on camera at the moment. Yes, there is blisters, a nice worn spot, a flat spot on the right rear tyre. We know what that's from a little bit earlier. A very, very quick change. Professionalism plus for this HRT team. Wind Percy just getting the window clean, and off he goes.
That's a good stop.
Yeah, that's 25 seconds by my watch. 4 tyres, fuel and a driver change. That's quite slick.
So Win Percy heads out in 10th position in the great race. Win, of course, this year has done most of his racing in the British Touring Car Championship for Nissan. And I guess the fact that HRT decided to bring Win out probably meant that Alan Grice didn't get a start in the race. There'll be a few people not all that happy about that, particularly the fans on top of the hill.
I'll be interested to know too what compound tyre they put on the car, because if they're going to be using them at that rate, they won't even be in with the show.
Here's the battle for 5th and 6th positions. Neil Crompton in 5th at the moment, with David Brabham behind the wheel of the second Winfield Commodore,
And he
gaining ground.
And he hasn't shaken Brock at all,
No.
has he? Brock's back again. You remember a couple of laps ago,
When he got past him,
yeah,
opened up a big gap, but Brock's got it back again.
Brocky has not been pushing this car as hard as a lot of people expect him to do, and I suppose that would have something to do with losing 3 motors during the past week.
I think you tend to be a little more conservative. They won't hang together for you for 45 minutes in a practice session. You don't do the same.
That's it. I think he wants the car to be there at the end of the day. He's had a lot of success on the mountain, and he knows just how important the reliability factor is.
Well, the key factor of that success is you're still running at 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
And he's in position 7, so it's not as if he's dawdling.
He's not doing that.
Brabham.
Out of the turn, down under the bridge. Neil Crompton with the Brabham Olofsson number 2 car. And Peter Brock in number 05.
Well, word from the pits too, I believe. Wilco, 16 coming in for a driver change too, so
Yes, the second dealer team entry, Brad Jones, will take over from Wayne Gardner.
Look at that. Brabham's doing 2:15s in the second Winfield car. So we've got Scaife in the 2:15s, and we've got Brabham in the 2:15s, and there isn't another car within 2 seconds a lap of them at this stage. They're both charging. I would have thought if they were running a team plan, Scaife might have gone out and gone hard, and they would have conserved the Brabham car, but no, they're both charging at the top of the field and turning in the fastest times of the day so far.
Well, that's the confidence in the Winfield team. I know that straight after Oran Park they headed for Phillip Island and did something like a 800 or 1,000 kilometre race simulation, and they've got full confidence in this package. There's Brad Jones waiting for car 16 to come in.
Brad, of course, is a triple Oscar national champion. Doesn't get a chance to do a lot of touring car racing, which is really a pity as we pick up on this tremendous scrap of 4th place. Neil Crompton, the GIO Commodore, and the Brabham Olofsson Commodore closing quickly.
It sure is. Crompton's hanging around the 2:19 mark. And as Doug said before, Brabham's doing 2:15s. The only other guy doing 15s at the moment is Larry Perkins, who's still quietly hanging in second position, doing sort of mid-2:15s as well. So that's the battle at the moment. They're the 3 fastest cars on the track. So Crompton down the hill, Brabham in his mirrors, and Brock makes up the threesome.
The exit to tyre power turn, the run down Conrod straight again. Well, the track has been making big moves. That's what Crompton is still sitting there. As we check out their times of the last lap, Crompton out to a 2:19, and the Brabham car out to a 2:18. Brock almost with just whisker of the rubber there on the grass as he approached the Caltex chase. So not a great deal between these. Brock doing 2:18s. The Brabham car out to 2:18s, and Crompton 2:19.984. Beneath the Tooheys Bridge, back along pits straight. That gap between our race leader Mark Scaife and Larry Crompton and car number 11, absolutely the same. Wayne Gardner coming in. Take it away, Andy.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, Wayne Gardner coming in just the same as the number 15 car. They're replacing all 4 tyres, giving the windows a little bit of a polish. And, of course, Bradley Jones, 3-time Oscar champion, jumping in. As Mark Osler just said earlier, they did a lot of testing down at Phillip Island. It really is paying off. This is an extra smooth operation as Brad Jones exits pits lane.
The same compound tyres going on these cars, so it's not the compound that was causing any problems. Tom Walkinshaw ordered them to alter the tyre pressures, but we couldn't find out whether it was up or down.
Well, Bradley Jones steps in, DuPont car paints, bringing the pictures, and the car rejoins 10th in the great race.
That was a pretty slick stop too. I think that was under 25 seconds, so Holding Racing Team certainly got their pit stop sorted out, and you need that at this level of competition. So Bradley settles in for the ride. 3 times, 4 times Oscar champion, a guy who's dominated that category over recent years. There's Wayne Gardner, and look at the sweat on the face of the 87 500cc world champion. Boy, oh boy, has he been working hard out there. And here's one of the BMWs. Now this is very interesting. This is one of the B&H cars, and the V8s are coming up to lap it, and we're 24 laps into the race. So a lot been said about the BMWs, but Alan Grice pointed out earlier in the week, they have to come in 3, maybe 4 times in the day and tip 110 litres of fuel into the back of these things, and it really does knock their times around until that fuel load lightens. And the time they lose to the V8s over that stage, guys like Fred Gibson believe something they can haul back.
Look at this. The Brabham Olofsson car coming up on the inside of Crompton, caught him right on the approach shot to Caltex chase. Beautiful pass that.
He's been working on that for about 3 laps.
That BMW was the 20 car driven by John Blanchard and Jeff Allen. Tony Longhurst sharing the other B&H car is in 11th position at the present time. Was in the top 10 earlier, in 10th place, slipped back to 11th at the moment. And the first of their Coke entries with Joachim Winkelhock at the wheel is in 14th place.
Just an update on the unfortunate spinners. Seaton is back up to 7th position. He's doing a real good job working on this top 10. He's back to 7 after that drama earlier. And Dickie Johnson back up to 13, so they're by no means out of it.
No, still a long, long way to go. So the Brabham car gets away. Crompton and now Brock. Now, can Brock do do anything about Neil Cropner. They exit Repco turn, make their way up the straight. Let's check them out for you, courtesy of Caltex. 56 minutes into the race. Scaife and Richards leading by 10.17 seconds. Larry Perkins runs in second. Then it's Paul Radisich of New Zealand in third. And then the Brabham Olofsson car back into fourth, and Crompton and Gibbs to fifth spot. Sixth is Brock and John Cleland. Wayne Gardner just handing over to Bradley Jones. Their car just ahead of the Seaton-Jones car, then followed by Dunstan and Harrington in the Quicks Pepsi Commodore VP. Thomas Mazzera and Win Percy now at the wheel of that car. The great race continues. Back in a sec.